Day 26. Let's get into the scripture first today. 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. It says, "And this is the word that was preached to you. Therefore, rid yourselves of all malice and all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander of any kind. Like newborn babies, crave pure spiritual milk, so that by it you may grow up in your salvation, now that you have tasted that the Lord is good." The first part of that really sticks out to me, talking about how we should kind of evaluate and rid ourselves of things like malice and hypocrisy and envy. And there's this thing that Bob Goff writes about, and he's done it for years. I don't know if he still does, but if you don't know him, again, I've referenced him a couple times. Bob Goff, great author, great speaker, Christian mentor for so many. And he's talked about a mentality called Quit Thursdays that he's participated in again for years. And what he does on Quit Thursdays, simple as that, is he quits something. And he's very intentional about replacing that said thing that he quit with something new on his plate that's more productive, that's better connecting him to God, and something that's really fulfilling more of his purpose. And then sometimes he'll quit things, there's only a list of, I guess, so many things that we can quit, albeit when we take a step back and look at our lives, there's probably plenty of opportunity to stop investing in certain things that we do out of either habit, out of, until you really think about it, maybe involuntarily we're doing things that are not productive. And so sometimes he quits things that are really detrimental, and sometimes they're more of just kind of like a reminder, something that maybe isn't so bad that he's even doing, but almost like Lent, for example, he will make something uncomfortable or difficult on himself by quitting something, because it's just a reminder of who God is and how small we are. But anyways, I love this idea and this mentality of Quit Thursdays. And I think it would just serve us all pretty well in our lives to pause, to really do that self-assessment, maybe a list of things that we want to stop doing. And again, if you have a commitment that you're doing, like I always say, like if someone's a part of a football team, like don't quit mid-season, but if it's things like, hey, I'm on Facebook way too much, or man, I keep eating ice cream at 10 p.m. every night, or hey, it could be things again that you need to add to your plate. I'm not in the Bible at all, and I need to hear what the Lord's saying. Do that self-evaluation, and don't be afraid to quit the things that are holding you back. There's a silly example like on Quit Thursdays where Bob one day just woke up and said, hey, I'm not going to drive anymore. I'm not going to drive to work anymore. So he started taking a skateboard, and he was within a mile or so to work, and just started skateboarding back and forth. There's another example where he said, you know what, he said, I'm holding too much right now. I'm holding too much. So he just cut his pockets. And I think it was just his left pocket. So every time he tried to put something in his left pocket, it would fall down to his shoe. And that was his reminder of, hey, we're holding on to too much. I don't know if it's too much emotion or too much stress in his life, but it was just kind of a reminder to him that, hey, be a little lighter in what we're putting inside. And for me, there's been multiple things that are either lighthearted or some a lot more serious that I've had to evaluate in my life and cut out that excess fat, and then add things that are much more productive, even though they are uncomfortable at times, or things that are difficult to get in the pattern of doing. I think they say 28 days to really form a habit, which is ironic because we're at day 26 of this, and we're getting pretty darn close to that. But that's the theme of today, is what can we quit and what can we add on our plate to get a much healthier overall balance of where we're aiming. Like, here's where we want to go, but I'm going to have to quit these 3 things. I'm going to have to add these 3 things to, whatever that is for you, to really fulfill what God calls for us in our life. So again, that's the theme of today. Look yourself in the mirror, do that evaluation, and don't be afraid to quit something today, whether that's hanging out with certain people, whether that's, again, what you're putting in your body, whatever it is, and then replace that new inaction with new positive action. Pretty simple stuff, but quit something today. Don't be afraid. That's day 26.